What's going on, everybody? So we finally got a look at End of Dragons. I was so excited yesterday to finally, see what the fuck this shit's about. Like the last thing that we saw on this was what, last August when they did the teaser video, when they like pretty much just started working on the fucking thing, it seems like. Um, yeah, so I was very, very excited. They announced it about 3 months ago, and I had literally the End of Dragons like countdown thing bookmarked to my hotbar, to my bookmark bar on my browser, and I'd like every day I'd go look there and be like, oh my god, all right, this much days, and now I'm doing that for the actual release date, which is going to be in February of 2022. Now, very well could get delayed again because the uncertainty of the current COVID pandemic we're living in is very, very high. We don't really know if things are going to get significantly shittier and then, things are going to just be fucking hell on earth again like they were last year. And, it's going to have to be delayed or whatever. But I think it's pretty likely that they won't delay it. But yeah, so Ender Dragons, they showed off the camping content, the continent. They didn't show off like that much of it, but it is definitely there. They showed off. I think there's 4 maps in there, and they're probably going to be pretty big, I would think. And they did also talk about how, it's going to be like Path to Fire and Heart of Thorns sort of combined in a way. So it's like Path to Fire in terms of like the freedom of movement aspect of it. And then they have the Heart of Thorns verticality aspect of it, which is great. I love both of those aspects. As long as they don't go like balls deep into it, like they did with like Tangled Depths or something, I'm fine because I fucking hate Tangled Depths. But other than that, I thought the Heart of Thorns maps were really good, and the Path to Fire maps were really good as well. So I think having both of those kind of combined is going to be really fun and very, very unique, and it's going to be really fun to explore for sure. I'm very, very excited, especially since we're getting 9 new elite specializations as expected. It's going to really be a lot of fun exploring these maps, in all honesty. They did also talk about replayability and how that is going to be at the forefront for these maps, which is definitely very, very nice. Um, and I would assume we're going to be, obviously getting new dynamic events. Hopefully, I know I feel like I'm a minority here, but renown quests or renown hearts. I'd love to see new hearts on each one of these maps, like they did a Path of Fire, where you can repeat them, and they, like they're like a daily thing. I personally love that because I like going and doing the hearts every day, a lot of the times, especially in like the living royalties and 4 areas. But I really hope they do that. I do really, really like that system. But they did talk about meta events a little bit and how they're going to be focusing into that a lot. So for people who love meta events, including myself, it is going to be very, very nice. We're probably going to be seeing like a Heart of Thorn style meta event system where it's probably, I would hope there's going to be a lot of gold making potential out of it, because that's really what drives people to these meta events in the long run, is the gold making potential of it. And the only meta that I see really played a lot in the Path of Fire area is Casino Blitz because of the infusion it can drop, which sells for quite a bit of gold. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about Canto, man. It looks absolutely stunning, and I just love the Asian aesthetic of everything. I used to actually not really like that aesthetic years ago until I started like playing games that have that kind of aesthetic, like Ghost of Tsushima. Like really sold me on that aesthetic, even though that game is like overly fucking beautiful in comparison to some of the other stuff. And then I played a little bit of Guild Wars 1, and Canto looks beautiful in there. I mean, for the product of its time, it looks truly stunning in Guild Wars 1. I will fully admit that, man. Guild Wars 1 honestly just did not seem like it came out in like 2006 or whatever the fuck. Like that game looks beautiful. The Canton region, of course. And I want to play more of that now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, Kantha is definitely one of the biggest things I'm excited for here. They also revealed the Mesmer Elite spec. Now, personally, I've never really been that big of a fan of Mesmer, and for me, it looks okay. I know some people love it, but for me, replacing the clones really kind of just is like, I don't know how I feel about the Virtuoso. Basically, it replaces the clones with the ability to stack up like these floating blades, and you could basically use different abilities to launch them and damage enemies in different ways. It definitely seems very balls deep when it comes to damage. It seems like just like a purely damage spec. Um, and for me, that's not really that interesting. I've never really found that to be like super interesting, and I kind of really like the clones on Mesmer in comparison to just having, you know, damage utility like with the blades and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not very impressed when it comes to Virtuo. So it does seem like they put in a lot of work with it. And the animations are very beautiful on it. Um, and it's also a ranged dagger, which is super fucking interesting. I don't think we have a single ranged dagger in the entire game. It's so fucking cool. But yeah, I think it's only main hand, right? I don't think they have offhand dagger on Mesmer. I could be wrong. Maybe it isn't. I don't really know. But yeah, it looks cool. They also showed off all the logos for it for the other elite specializations. And they look cool. I think the second one is definitely the Ranger, and that's the one that I'm most excited about in terms of elite specs, because I'm really wanting a pet-focused elite spec. So I'm really hoping that that's going to be it. I mean, it has like a what seems to be like a beast on it, so maybe that'll be like elite pets, or maybe it'll be the ability to have both of your pets out at the same time or something. I don't know. I'm super excited for the new Ranger Elite spec. Hopefully they're not gonna like get rid of the pet or something, because that was basically Soul Beast. I see a lot of people who are like, oh, they need to do one where they like get rid of the pet. And they're like, yeah, they did that. Soul Beast. They did that. You could literally go play Soul Beast and get rid of the pet. That's why I don't find Soul Beast engaging at all. I find it to be one of the weakest elite specs in the entire game in terms of the fun of it. But yeah, in general, I think really looking forward to these elite specs. They also showed off the silhouette of the Necro, which I fucking nailed it. I when I was talking about Necro elite specs, I really wanted to see. It was either a rifle or a pistol that I mentioned. I was like, yeah, I really want to see like a mace or like a pistol or something. And it looks like we're getting like a proper like alchemist Necro elite spec, where you're tossing the elixir potions and stuff to damage your enemies, and you're using a pistol, and it's really cool. I'm a big fan. It's gonna be fun. I cannot wait to play the new Necro Elite spec. That shit looks fucking sick as hell. From the actual silhouette of things, they've obviously yet to reveal it. One thing I'm very fucking excited about is how they're rolling out the Elite specs. So basically, every like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that, we're gonna be getting a beta for the next few months. So we're getting like 3 betas in total. Or was it 4 betas? I kind of forget. I don't really remember. But basically, you're going to be able to play 3 elite specs each time, 3 different elite specs. We don't really know how they're going to go about it. I'm thinking it's probably going to be light armor, then medium armor, and then heavy armor maybe, because they showed off Necro. And I would assume that because of that, we're going to be able to play with Necro for the first elite spec as well. I would assume that's probably going to happen, but in between those times, they're going to actually be showing off the elite specs. So it's going to give us anticipation for the next beta event, and it's really fucking cool. So you're going to be able to play with all the different elite specs over the course of these betas, and then on the last one, you're going to be able to play with all of them. All of them, it's going to be fucking chaos. It's going to be just a shit fest. I'm going to love it. And you're also going to be able to play with the Siege Turtle mount on the last one, which is going to be the next topic here, which is the Siege Turtle. Fucking Christ, this looks amazing. I'm so excited for this mount. It is essentially a big ass, like armored, fucking armed to the teeth turtle that you could ride on. That is the first ever multiplayer mount in this game. It's 2 players, and as per usual, they don't make it so it's like, oh, just some lame shit in other MMOs. Like, oh, you just go on there and you have a 2-person mount. You just got the other person there, and they're just stuck there doing nothing. No, the second person gets to fire these fucking laser cannons. It's so fucking sick, and I cannot wait to be on this walking war machine they called, going across the new maps and just fucking dominating everything of my friend. We're gonna have a fucking blast in End of Dragons and in the last beta, playing at the Siege Turtle, man. And I'm really hoping you could just pick up like random people, so you can like go to like Queensdale, and you can go, if you have like a new friend playing or something, or you could just go do it to random people. You can essentially be like a fucking taxi, so they don't have to run everywhere. You can go and you could pick up these random players, and you could take them to whatever destination they want to go to, and that way it makes the experience a lot faster for them. I'd love to see that, and I'm really excited, just in general, for the Siege Turtle mount. This mount looks like the coolest mount in the entire fucking game. I'm so fucking excited for it. And it's not going to be like a typical turtle where it walks really slow. This guy is able to fucking sprint. So I'm really excited. The fact that they took a look at mounts in other games, for multiplayer mounts, and they essentially said, no, fuck that. We're ArenaNet bitches. All right, we innovate on this shit, and they added a proper like fucking turret functionality for the second player. Is so fucking cool. I'm wondering for the first player though, is it just going to be like riding for the first player? Even then, it's still going to be fun to be able to properly position yourselves, and I would think. For the second person, they're probably going to be taking advantage of the action camera. I would think with um, the little laser cannons on it. I really hope that they use the action camera for that, like they did with using the rifle to shoot down the targets in the Grothmar Valley event. You guys, have you played that dynamic event in the Grothmar Valley? They have where essentially you go up in the air and they shoot these targets in midair, just as like a little fun celebration sort of thing, of like beating Krakatork and all that. And it essentially takes advantage of the action camera. So I would think that's probably what they're going to be doing with the Siege Turtle. But generally, man, I'm fucking hyped for the Siege Turtle. This looks like an incredible mount. And I'm really hoping it's not like that hard to get because I want to do that shit immediately with my friend, man. That's going to be so much fun. The next thing here is something that I think in my last video I talked about what I wanted. Fishing. Oh my god, I know some people aren't loving this sort of thing. But how are you going to appeal to everybody for this? Like tons of casual players, including myself, I've been asking for fishing, and even hardcore players have been asking for fishing to come to the game. We're finally getting fishing, and yeah, it's pretty kick-ass. So you can go and you could fish. There's like over 200 fish. They're not just like, in the Canton zone. No, you can go anywhere, fucking anywhere in the world, and you can fish. So there's gonna be fish dedicated to certain areas, I believe, and there's gonna be like rare, like exotic fish and shit. And hopefully there'll be some like gold making potential out of this. I really hope so. Obviously it's probably not gonna be as efficient as going and farming meta events and whatnot, but I really hope that there is some monetary long-term gain to be fishing, because I really want to fish as much as possible and have a reason to. And you can go out on a shore, you can go on a little dock area. There's actually a few of those dock areas even across the Corteria maps and stuff you can go on. And then you have a skiff. So it's like a boat where you could take the boys on there, and you could go anywhere in the ocean or anything like that on any of the maps, and you can just fucking go out in the middle of the goddamn ocean, and you could just fish. And it's fucking beautiful. I just love the fact that you're able to have these like skiff boats, and you're able to get with the boys, get the fucking guild in there, and you're able to just go out to wherever you want, have a good time, crack some cold ones, and then just fucking fish. And it's really, really cool. I'm very, very excited for that, for the fishing aspect of this game. And it looks really, really fun. They did show off like a little bit of like gameplay and like third person of it, of someone doing it. And they caught a fish, and it's kind of like Animal Crossing or whatever. You kind of like hold it up to yourself, and you're like, oh my god, it's so fucking sick. And then, they put it away or whatever. Animal Crossing obviously is a little more lengthy. Like, they give like a pun or whatever, and, whatever in that game that fits really well. But yeah, I'm fucking hyped for fishing. You can basically, on the skiffs, you can walk or you can anchor your mount or your fishing skiff, and then you could walk around it. You can just kind of, it's cool. You can anchor it and shit like that, and I really, really like that. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for fishing in this game. We really need to see more on this, but the fact that fishing, the fishing itself, the skiff boats, and then oh fuck me, legendary fishing rods. Can we please get those legendary fishing rods? And they're probably gonna have fishing rod skins, I would think too. I'm very excited for that, and they also are already confirmed to have skiff skins as well. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. The skiffs can also have their own mastery trait line, or their own mastery, line for them. And then the fishing is going to have their own mastery line, and then the siege turtle is going to have their own mastery line. And then there's going to be 2 other mastery lines that we've yet to hear about. So yeah, fishing. Oh, it looks so fucking. It looks so fun. They didn't talk about like this ancient science of dragon magic, known as like Dragon Jade. I don't really know what the fuck this is. I don't really know what the point of it is. I mean, it looks kind of cool. But I don't really know what it is. So I'm not really going to talk about that too much. And then, yeah, so they also showed off A few other things. So we're getting new strike missions, which are going to be really fun, and they're also doing a new like scaling system. So instead of having it, so it's just like more health and more damage for higher tier combatants and stuff. And I would assume across the world they're probably going to be doing this too. They're actually going to be having new mechanics on the enemies. So it's going to be, like if they have like a standard AoE attack or something, they're going to be adding a few more abilities as that enemy scales up, with more players or whatever in difficulty. I love that. I think that's very, very cool, and I'm very, very excited to see what they do with that. But new strike missions is cool. I'm not really that big of a fan of strike missions, but that is cool for those who like it. We have Oreen-themed legendary weapons. Now, I see a ton of people out there saying that this is like Black Lion sets. Nah, this isn't fucking Black Lion sets. Did you see the shit they showed off? That shit's a fucking legendary, bro. Like, Oreen-themed legendaries. That sounds fucking sick. And for a while, I've literally wanted to have like a proper set of legendary weapons that have a similar theme, because I've seen so many of these legendary weapons that I'm like, wow, that's fucking badass. I wish they'd have a whole set for them. Like there's some like pistols and shit that looked really cool, and I'm like, I don't really use pistols on any of my classes. I wish they'd have like a longbow or a greatsword for that. And I'm excited that we're finally getting these like sets of weapons that all have a similar theme, and then I would assume we're going to be getting another set of weapons that all have a similar theme. I like that, and I really, really enjoy that. And the fact that they went a further step and made it so the precursors to the legendary weapons are like baby Oreen, and then the fucking, the main legendaries are like, kick ass, fucking big ass, just, that sounded kind of fucked up, but, like these huge Oreen versions and shit, and it's so cool. I'm really excited for the legendary weapons, man. Yeah, that's all I can really say about those. They didn't show them off too much. They showed off the greatsword for it, and it looks really kick-ass. Those who are saying Black Lion sets, that ain't a fucking Black Lion set. Alright? That is totally not a fucking Black Lion set. That's a proper legendary weapon. What the fuck are you guys on? I think they're saying it's a Black Lion set because of the fact that they're using a similar themed set for all of them instead of the actual look. Hopefully they do that, because that shit don't look like a fucking Black Lion set, dude. A new guild hall as well. A Canton guild hall. I feel like this was kind of expected, but it is cool to have. And I think they said something about you being able to go out and fish and stuff in the little water area, because it's essentially like a little island. It's pretty badass. I really like that guild hall, and I really hope my guild stops being lazy shits and hopefully, goes for this new guild hall. I fucking hope so. And yeah. And they also on their website have some wallpapers and stuff and screenshots, which you could bet your fat juicy asshole I will be applying those wallpapers onto my desktop like right fucking now. And yeah, really, really excited. They also have pre-order editions and stuff you could pick up. So the standard edition is $30. Very, very good deal for an MMO expansion. Typically they are around $40 to $50. So $30 for the standard edition really is fantastic. And then, you get some pre-order bonuses for it. So you get a Flame Serpent weapon chest, which allows you to pick one weapon from the Flame Serpent set. You get a Xingji Mosaic, I was about to say monastery, a Xingji Mosaic cape, which it looks okay. I mean, I have it in the game, and it looks okay. I'm not like a huge fan of it, but you also get the Prodigy of Xingji title, which can essentially be a massive fucking flex in a few years, so I kind of got it just because of that. It's like, hey, look who's fucking pre-ordered this shit. I'm a loser. So, yeah. You got the deluxe edition, which is $55, which comes with the Xingji Dragon Boat Skiff skin. So that basically confirms we're going to be seeing boat skins in the future. It comes with a shared inventory slot, additional character slot, the Canton Raptor skin, which also looks very, very cool and has its own unique sounds. Identity Repair Kit, which is a makeover kit, and then another kit combined in one. I forget exactly what the other kit was. And then the max level boost as well. Of course, it's like a standard thing. And yeah. And then there's the ultimate one, which is, for some reason, the $55 one. It's like $80 and it comes with 4,000 gems, and that's the only thing of it. I got the $80 one, but yeah, just because the 4,000 gems is usually, I think, what, like $40-$50, something like that, and it was only like 25 more to do from the deluxe to ultimate. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm super, super excited to finally play this thing in February, man. I'm fucking hyped, and I know a lot of the community is very, very excited. I know there's some people out there who are not excited for it, and I'm sorry for you. I am truly sorry for you. because this shit looks fucking tit milk. Yeah, it's not on the level of like Path of Fire where there's that one feature like mounts and shit that's like game changing. But it's an expansion for Guild Wars 2, and nonetheless, I'm super excited no matter if there really is like that huge feature or not. And the features that we are getting, I'm super excited for. Fishing, the Siege Turtle, Cantha, 9 new Elite specs. I'm very, very excited for all of those, and I cannot wait for this expansion, man. I'm super, super excited. In the meantime, I have Endwalker to play in a few months, which is definitely going to be a nice thing to hold up. And I'm really hoping they decide to release Destiny 2's Witch Queen like a month before, like in like January of 2022. Hopefully, because I don't want to have to fucking balance those two games at the same time, Guild Wars 2 and fucking Destiny 2. I don't want to have to do that. So, yeah, that's going to cover it, guys. Very, very hyped, and you can bet your ass I will be covering content on this as the Elite specs go on and giving my impressions of the Elite specs and talking about builds with the Elite specs and my favorite builds of them during the beta time. A lot of shit to talk about, and I'm very, very excited to make content for this expansion and for the Elite spec betas and trying out the Siege Turtle mount and funny moments with my friend as we're going on the Siege Turtle mount, dominating everything in the third or fourth beta, whatever it is. Yeah, so make sure to stay tuned, guys. There's gonna be a lot of fucking shit coming up, and yeah, peace.